Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carpo here. So I made a video earlier where I talked about mosquitoes and how they have cravings for certain people. And beer drinkers are more likely to get mosquitoes because the smell that they put out and certain smells attract them. And during my research on that I found out that the body actually has when we share 99.9% of our DNA with each other, we only share 10% of our microbes. And I thought about that for a while today, and I thought, that has some very interesting. Well, let's start off here. I believe about last year sometime I made a video saying, are we merely vessels for bacteria? Have bacteria, cyanobacteria, and single cellular organisms arrange themselves through their own consciousness to create animals, humans, through their own realization. I know that sounds a little silly to some, and to others they're probably like, sure thing, yeah, that could be. But it's just an idea I had that, it was kind of a joke, but not really, that we are vessels for carrying these single-celled organisms which work in factories, as in our cells. They work in, or the cells work within our organs. They work in their area. They know where they're programmed to work. They understand their function, and you put some stem cells in there and they go to work with the other guys, they're like ants. And I believe that we are vessels for these cells, as just like the cells serve us, just like we serve the cells, in other words. Now, when you start talking about bacteria, I started thinking, well, if the microbes that inhabit our body, which make, we use them for all kinds of things. That's what puts off our odor, give us our pheromones, our sweat, our particular scent, as well as things that we can't even sense, or purposes we can't understand. If we only share 10% of our microbes, maybe that has some bearing upon more than just mosquitoes. Human pheromones are still in debate as far as how well we receive the actual pheromones, if we smell them or not. But there are chemical signals that are put off, I believe, and magnetic signals that are put off. And maybe our bodies have these differences in microbe levels that create something different about us, like in the sense that we don't. How do I say this? It's kind of it's kind of an off-the-wall thought. It's just, consciousness to me is not something that happens within the mind. It's something that happens within the collective. That I believe that our brains, as we have these neural networks, these neurons fire when we're thinking, but we can't quite pin down where consciousness is, and that's why I believe consciousness is a signal, that it resides somewhere within the entirety of the body. It's a resonant signal that exists everywhere. And we have brain cells in our heart as well, so or neurons anyway. There are neural networks in all different parts of our body, probably, which we communicate with our organs with one another. These signals are sent between our organs and our brains. So the consciousness, I don't believe, is something that's condensed in any one area. I believe that all the cells resonate with that consciousness. So I also believe in a collective consciousness of all people. And with that, it brings the idea that if cells can communicate and human minds can communicate, then there's no doubt in my mind that cyanobacteria and lesser life forms as well communicate on subtle levels that we don't understand. And it becomes pseudoscience at a certain point. People are like, oh, well, animals can't think and animals can't reason. And, I'm not going to debate or speculate on really what animals can and can't do. Nor am I going to try to say whether or not creatures think. But I'll leave you with this. This just popped into my head. But last year, I was watching a show and they were doing research on this, on the consciousness. They hooked a guy up to a couple of electrodes to his head, and they hooked these electrodes up to, what was it? It was a God, I can't remember exactly how they did it. He wasn't actually in contact with the yogurt. They had a container of yogurt, okay, Yogurt has live active cultures. You know, I guess acidophilus, is that the one there? Is it? I can't even remember which it is, but the live cultures within the yogurt would react to the person's thoughts. If he had a negative thought, there would be a reading with the electrodes that were put into the yogurt. This by itself doesn't sound like much, but this is utter scientific proof that we affect even our food on that type of level if it has those microbes within it. So what does that mean? I mean, for the microbes within our body, if our consciousness is affecting microbes in yogurt from a distance, you can only make up your own conclusions on that one. So gotta go. Peace out.